afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah. So, we are seriously discussing about the social reformers of men and at the same time, women social reformers also. Out of them, Savitri Bai Phule is one of the great social reformer and famous reformer, and at the same time, Ramabai Saraswati is also one of the well-known women social reformer who was born in Maharashtra, and her father made her to learn all these Sanskrit scriptures. And after the death of her father, she wandering all over the India, including Kolkata, that is in Calcutta, she wandered, and her main aim is to fight against the discriminations against the women. So, while she was uh, known as a Pandita Ramabai, because the way she studied about all the Sanskrit scriptures, by learning such things, she was known as the Pandita Ramabai Saraswati. Okay, and at the same time, this social reformer sacrificed her entire life to fight in favor of the women, especially widows, and she is the one who completely supported that women has to be in each and every field, and women has to go to colleges and schools likewise. And even she traveled to England, to America, and after coming from America, she started one Sharada Sadan exclusively for widows. Her main aim is to educate even widows also in each and every field, that they should not stick themselves only to the household activities. In fact, in return, she has to come to the colleges and she has to educate herself, and more or less every widows, especially widows, also should make them equal with the men in each and everywhere. If men are supposed to do the job, even women also supposed to do the job. In such a way, she encouraged all the women, especially widows in the society, and she was very much worked hard for women by seeing all the discriminations or differences showing against the women in the society. So with her encouragement, with the encouragement of Pandita Ramabai Saraswati, the women became like anything, and they educated themselves, even they educated the entire family, and they secured good jobs even in government offices, and wherever it is necessary, wherever the jobs are having, they fulfilled and they worked accordingly. So this is about the social reformers of women, that is Savitri Bai Phule and Pandita Ramabai Saraswati. Now, in today's lesson, let us talk about the education is also important for Muslim women. Okay, so even in those days, even at present society also, most of the Muslim women were restricted to their houses itself. Okay, so
Okay.
let us know here how the education is important even for Muslim women also, because in Islamic religion, most of the Muslims, as I said, they have to hide themselves behind the parda. They are not supposed to come out of the house. They should be restricted themselves only to the kitchen works, domestic works, rather than going outside. Even if anything wanted at house, the men only supposed to go into the market, and they used to bring all the vegetables or provisions or whatever it is necessary, because the women were not even allowed to sit in front of them, in front of the in-laws or elders or whomever they are. So they have to cook, they have to wash all the clothes, whomever they are in the house. If 10 members are there, 10 members clothes should be washed by the women itself, but not by any other lady. No servant will be allowed into their houses. So the women of the house only should work continuously, hours together even, and they were not being sent to the schools also to educate themselves. So here also, one of the famous, like the social reformers, the Hindu social reformers, in the same way, even one of the famous social reformer, one of the social famous reformer in Islamic religion, In olden days, the begums, they are used to call as begums, and even those begums are also of Bhopal, played an important role for women. In those days in Bhopal, the one who are very famous to called as a begums, and these begums played an important role. They sincerely and seriously and severely worked for the welfare of the Muslim women. Worked for the welfare of the Muslim women. Along with these begums, there is one most famous social reformer in Islamic religion with the name of Rokia Shakawat Hussain. What is her name? Rokia
Shakawat Hussain.
Shakawat Hussain. She is said to be one of the social reformer who fought against the Muslim women who are not allowed to educate, who are not allowed to go to schools here. And she started school exclusively for Muslim women in Calcutta. So, Rokia Shakawat Hussain is one of the social reformer of which religion? Shokia Shakawat Hussain is a social reformer, belongs to Islamic religion, that is Muslim religion.
Okay.
So she also, in olden days, the begums used to encourage the women to educate themselves. They seriously strive hard and they seriously worked exclusively for Muslim women where they need an education to create an awareness among themselves. Out of all that, even this Rokia Shakawat Hussain is also one of the social reformers said to be, and she started a school exclusively for Muslim women. She started a school exclusively only for whom?
Women.
Exclusively means what? Only for women.
Okay.
Only for Muslim women, that too. Only for Muslim women. She started a school in Calcutta. Where it is?
Calcutta.
In Calcutta. In olden days it is called as Calcutta, but nowadays it is said to be pronunciated as Kolkata.
Okay.
Okay. So the way Bombay has become Mumbai, in the same way Calcutta has become Kolkata. At present it is. So this Rokia Shakawat Hussain, also a social reformer, came forward and she started a school exclusively for men. Not only in Calcutta, even she started school exclusively for Muslim women. Even in Patna also she started that school where a Muslim women can be educated or should be educated. And what all the ideas, conservative ideas, what all the ideas of our ancestors used to carry by the elders of the family or ancestors of the family or those days. All such, besides, she wants to put an end to all those beliefs and all those traditions and whatever you call, because they are purely decided that women are not allowed to go to the education. Women are not allowed to go to the education. But whereas even sometimes the way Muslims will refuse to do some things, in the same way they'll support the system also. If any unknown situation will come in front of them, so within their religion, supporters will be there, and at the same time, critics also will be there. Critics means whom? The one who criticizes, the one who go against the situation. Within the same religion, even we are, lot of Hindus are there. Can you say that all the Hindu religion people's mentality will be the same? No, you can't say. Obviously, it will be different. Obviously, will be different. When members in a family will not be the same, how can you expect the people are from different families, the people are from different religions and culture, they would be the same? No, we can't say. So even in Islamic religion also, all the men and women were not equal. Their thought process will be different. The supporters, the number of supporters will be like anything. In the same way, even the critics also will be more or less equal to the supporters. So few women, Muslim women, will support their own religion women, but within the religion also women are completely against the women itself. Okay, so like means they are not allowed to go to the schools, they are not allowed to come out of the house, they are not allowed to do the jobs. and they are not allowed to talk with the men or outside of the people. So in the same way, few people are supporting such kind of reactions that even though the women who belongs to Muslim religion also, they are equally have a right to move in the society freely by taking with full of liberty. Liberty means what? Freedom, nothing but.
Okay.
They can move very freely in the society without any hesitation, even though they are following parda system or not, that's the secondary thing. These people were completely against with the parada system. Okay, so these are all are said to be like, even the Muslim women are also equally eligible to educate themselves. The Muslim women are also, nothing is, no one is exempted. Like the one who wants to fulfill their desires through by going schools and colleges, they wish to go, they can go. No one should stop them. No one should stop them. And as per the education system, as per the education system, 6 to 14 years of age group of children will are eligible to take a primary education, at least primary education with free of cost, with the free of cost, no matter which caste they belongs to, no matter which religion they belongs to. So irrespective of their caste, creed and religion, the people, those who are in between 6 to 14 years of age, every child is eligible to get primary education in all the government schools with the free of cost. They are not supposed to deny to take their admission. So by taking all such reasons, in those even Muslim women also will be there. Muslim children also will be included in those 6 to 14 years age group. Okay, and after crossing 14 years also, few parents are denying to send their women or to send their daughters to the schools, and they are not even supposed to do the jobs also. Strictly it is there following even till in the society. Okay, hardly we can change 100 minds, ma.
Okay.
Hardly we can change 100 minds. But do you think only 100 or 200 minds are existing in the society? No, some lakhs of minds are there in the society. So we are not here to change the complete society. We'll bring a certain change in a group of people, and those group will change the other group of people. One cannot do all the things. One cannot do all the things. Suppose take for example our own family. Father is the earning member of the family. He will look after all the outside of the house activities. Can he able to manage even household activities also, like cooking, washing, looking after the children, looking after his parents, looking after his wife?
No.
It is not possible. So that's the reason, whether it is a family or it is a nation or it is a system, whatever it is, whomever it is highly impossible to maintain by only one person. We have to run the show with a group of people. We have to maintain the system with some groups, and in that group some sort of people should be there who are said to be the skilled people, who are able to manage and maintain in all the way, whether it is technically or practically or manually, whatever it is, skilled people should be there where the maintenance is possible. So that's the reason I am telling you, if any social reformer has come forward to change the society or to change the mindset of the people, it is highly impossible with only one person. If I want to change anyone, someone should support me. Without any support, no system will work out. Yours is a school, you are studying in school. Okay? If daily, if you are coming to school and you are listening all the lessons, behind that, so much groundwork is there. Establishment of the school is one of the important thing. Okay, managing that school, one person should be there. To teach all the subjects, different person should be appointed. Okay, in the absence of your teacher or subject teacher, whomever it is, to maintain your own class, one should be created as a leader. Okay, so here the work is distributed into different sections among different people. Then only the system will run, then only the system will work. So when point comes to the social reformers, when point comes to the showing differences when women discrimination is seriously happening in the society. Years together and days together, we can't be silent by seeing all those, by observing all. Someone or the other should come forward, should take a step forward ahead to remove all such kind of differences in the society. We need to change the thought process of the people. We need to change the mindset of the people. If Muslim people, they are also human beings, they are also equal right to go accordingly along with the men. When other religions people are able to go to schools, then why not the Muslim people? That question has come in front of the Islamic religion, in front of the social reformers, the one and only, that is Rokeya Shakawat Hussain. By taking all these discriminations, the discriminations which are going against the women in the society, she came forward and she established a school exclusively for Muslims, women Muslims in Pune and Patna and Calcutta. She started school and the women started coming to school and educate themselves. Okay, and what happened here? The husbands, once as I said, the thought process, the thinking process of the people, what is their main, why the people are getting afraid when women will be educated? The one and only reason, if women will be educated, they won't be in a husband's control. They won't listen to the in-laws. They won't respect the elders in the family. These are all wrong assumptions as far as I concerned. So narrow-minded people will think in such a way, when a woman will be educated, the woman will cross her limits. She will go with someone or the other. She won't be under the control of husband, and she won't listen to the in-laws in the house. She won't respect, and she'll make her husband to do all the household activities. See, it's a mutual understanding between a wife and a husband. Even though they are both are working, by taking few things into consideration, they'll share their works, nothing wrong in that. Unless and until if any elder or in-laws will interfere in both of them. There is no law has been made by the government that men are not supposed to do any kind of work which is related to household, which is related to kitchen or whatever you take. So that's the reason I'm telling you, it's all about the mutual understanding between a man and a woman, between a wife and a husband. If both are ready, if both are compromised with the situation, if they wants to go accordingly, no one should interfere in both of them. When women is completely educated, when women is completely coming out of the house, she is managing household activities, and at the same time, even she is going to the office and earning money and getting money, some amount for the family to survive. Okay, their ego feeling should not come. We have to understand a woman's responsibility. Instead of understanding, maybe it is called as we have to respect the woman who is going to work even out of the house also. Not only for her sake she wants to work, she wants to maintain even her family. She wants to share all her husband's responsibilities also equally. She wants to be a part of the husband's responsibility. If a person will think on such grounds, then there is no question of disputes in a family. Rather than taking an ego, if a man or if any mother-in-law or father-in-law, if they are understanding in a better way why she is working and for the sake of whom she is working, and for the sake of whom she is supporting, if a man can, if a mother-in-law, if a husband, if a person can understand or think in all such grounds, then that family will be a healthiest family rather than fighting or quarreling with each other. So in those days, even nowadays also, at present society also, there are so many people are under the same assumption that if any woman is educated, obviously she will be out of the control, which is obviously wrong assumption, where they do not supposed to think in such a way. Okay, so this is all about, by taking all such things, even Muslim women also should be educated, and they should not hide themselves with the parda system, so-called parda system. Even though if they want to wear, it's up to them. See, the lady who is strictly following Parda system is very genuine and very good character lady, we can't say that. The one who did not following Parda system, that lady is said to be illegal lady or whatever you call. That is rowdy, she is not following any rules or regulations. We can't say anything. Whether you follow or not, if you are on a correct path, the rules or norms and conditions or customs and traditions, whatever related to the religion, you have to follow. If you are the one who follows very properly and strictly, then no one will be there to criticize you if you are on a right path. Okay, so no parameters, no such parameters are designed not to educate women or so and so. These are all bullshit. Okay, so if a woman is educated, the entire family will be educated. This is a great saying since decades it is coming. ఒక్క ఆడ మనిషి చదివితే కుటుంబం మొత్తం బాగుపడుతుంది, అందరూ విద్యావంతులు అవుతారు అని అంటారు తెలుగులో. దట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్. ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ మేకింగ్ అ ఉమెన్ టు సిట్ ఆర్ టు బీ ఎట్ హోమ్ ఐడల్, ఇఫ్ యూ అలౌ హర్ టు educate, or if you allow her to go to school, complete her education, let her do the job, then you can see what a woman can do. What a woman can do. So hats off to those Muslim social reformers, especially women social reformers or men social reformers, who wants to fight against the Parda system, which they are taking it as one of their most custom and tradition to follow very strictly. See, by following Parda system, we can't say that that lady is a very good lady. The one who do not follow, that lady is a bad lady. You can't take all such things into assumption. And don't take into consideration that if they are following all the norms and conditions, any Muslim lady, that woman is said to be a very good lady. And who is not following, she is a very bad lady. She is not eligible to be in a family. Nothing like that. The way we are presenting ourselves, how many years we are going to live, that is not important. How we are going to live is the most important thing. Maybe 20 years or 30 years. The age span, the lifespan is not in our hand. The lifespan is not in our hand. But the days when you are living, how you are living, that matters a lot. That matters a lot. Whether the people belongs to Hindu religion or Islamic religion or so on and so forth. Okay, so as we discussed in previous sessions, there are some dominating caste system is also one of the caste discrimination is also one of the major and social cause in the society. As we discussed in previous classes, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, these two caste people are said to be Vaishyas also among them. These three castes are said to be the most dominated and upper caste in the society. And these caste people were dominating the other caste, that is Shudras and untouchables, and they are treating like they are like lower caste people. As n number of times I said, when you want to make a friendship, don't take their religion into consideration. No matter which caste they belongs to, no matter which religion they are following, no matter which god they are worshipping, there is only one caste, that is human caste. That is human caste. And in previous days, these agrakulalu antaru. The dominating caste means nothing but agrakulalu, like Brahmins and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. They used to dominate the other religions, the other caste people who are said to be the Shudras and untouchables, and exclusively these people were not allowed into the temples also. These untouchables and these Shudras were dominated on a very higher scale by Brahmins and Kshatriyas by doing so and so things. So this is one kind of, apart from, in addition to women's discrimination, even caste discrimination is also one of the major social cause was happened in the society, and at the same time happening in the society. In the only a little change has come in the society, that in those days Brahmins used to marry only Brahmins people. Kshatriyas used to marry only Kshatriyas with the same group of religion, with the same group of caste. But a little bit change has come in present society. Once, if any girl, as I said, if she becomes a major, they can marry any caste person, because ultimately, finally, she and he is going to live together, so they can choose their life partner without taking their caste or religion into consideration. Okay, so in the society, the caste discrimination also was happened very seriously in the society. And in the next session, I want to switch on to the, just we read about Savitri Bai Phule, but we did not know what is Jyotirao Phule. Just we know only one thing, that we discussed that Savitri Bai Phule is the wife of Jyotirao Phule. But what is Jyotirao Phule? We did not discuss. So in my next session, let us discuss about Jyotirao Phule and what is his aims and what is his vision towards the social causes in the society, how he fought against that. Okay, so these are all, let us discuss in the next session. Until then, have a nice day.